Hi there, guys. So I have this silly little grin on my face because I am I'm just scrolling uh off on YouTube and so forth and trying to get my mind off all this Trump crap and all that because it's making my anxiety just not good. So I come across a couple of videos. I came across a couple of women that I was interested in listening to. They're telling stories about their you know experiences with boyfriends, husbands, whatever. um then the video turned to there's this guy in his car, there's this white guy in his car, and he's not a young hot white guy or whatever. He is an older, fat, not even all that attractive looking white guy. And I mean, not that that matters because everybody, hey, there's somebody for everybody. So that's not even the thing. So dude is literally, to sum it up, dude is literally saying that he's mad and upset because he has to go get his own medicine. He has to run his own errands, go to cleaners and all these type things. He has to do things for himself that he feels that if he had a wife, traditional woman, as he said, she would be doing all those things for him. And he used a couple words. He used things that I'm supposed to do, things that she is supposed to do, which is just insane that so many of these men literally think that those are women jobs. Household, taking care of kids, being the house manager, just to sum all of that up. Um, give them sex on demand. Just, I mean, like, and most of these men who point to, the wife stuff, and even if they point to the Bible, like, those men aren't even religious. They just use that to prove their point, or to give their point some type of a meaning or whatever, that that's what God said women's supposed to do. Okay, well, and it's so crazy because the men don't do what they're supposed to be doing according to the Bible, but we won't get into that. So then it goes on. I'm looking at this other guy, this black guy, who is talking. I mean, he's literally just slandering women, all the while saying that he's single and probably is looking for a woman, but talking about how women can't cook, talking about how women, literally y'all can't do anything, you uneducated, you know, you don't have anything to offer, you ain't hot, you ain't like, and I'm just sitting up here like, dude, you're saying all of this while in the same breath talking about wanting a woman in your life. Like, what? I don't think these men hear themselves. I don't think they hear how angry they are. I don't think, because the first the white guy, dude doesn't realize, just me as a woman listening, before I even looked at comments or anything like that, I'm looking at this like, dude, like, and he's cursing. It's just like, dude, you are abusive as hell. Like, you cursing the camera, which means eventually I'm gonna be the F bomb. I'm gonna be the C word. I'm gonna be the eight the hoe. I'm gonna be like, and even the black guy. Like, do you understand how you're degrading a woman so horribly before you even get her? Like, you're literally saying you ain't shit, so you need to be with me. Like, that's literally what you're saying. You ain't shit, you ain't worth shit, but I do need you in my life to cook, clean, take care of me. Like, Do these guys, do men understand that you're literally asking a woman to be a slave for you, do all of these services for you? Because cooking is a service. You're eating, you're getting nutrition into your body. You're getting clean clothes, iron clothes, or clothes taken to the laundry. Like, that's a health thing. Wearing nasty, dirty clothes is a health thing. In the instance of the first guy, he got medication that he needs to take. She's probably reminding him. She's probably the one like literally reading the instructions and telling him, "Well, babe, you don't want to be drinking coffee before you take these pills or whatever. It's gonna make you jittery or whatever. Or, you know, babe, now make sure you don't eat no grapefruit when you take these pills. Now, just things that a wife would do. If she loves her husband, man, boyfriend, whatever. And that's a benefit. Her washing dishes and keeping the house clean is a health issue. A nasty, dirty, filthy, unsanitary house is a health hazard. So that's a benefit. If you have kids, case closed. If she's taking care of the kids, keeping them clean, doing what everything that a child and even a baby, which is more, more dependent, those are essential things that the man is saying, I don't want to do this stuff. I need a woman to, okay, all right. Even though you're cussing, degrading her, treating her like shit, talking to her like she ain't shit. But do you know how important it is for a woman to take care of her children and keep them clean and teach them to brush their teeth and teach them to bathe and give them morals and teach them how to talk to people and how to be respectable and how to interact with people and giving them life? Like, that don't just come with children. A good woman or whatever has to teach those things to her children. So that is a valuable, very valuable thing. So, because I love to hear men talk about needing a woman, but literally you ain't shit and you ain't gonna add nothing to my life, but I need you. That completely makes no. That's literally like saying, I don't want to walk 12 miles to work. I need a car to go to work in. I need a car to keep me out of, the rain and the snow and the heat and all of this, but the car ain't shit. I ain't gonna buy no new tires. I'm not gonna put no gas. Like, I'm not finna take care of this car because the car ain't shit, but I need it. Anyway, I said all that to say, like, it's funny. It's just funny sitting back here and it was especially funny hearing the white guy because it's just like he was so angry. And it's like, dude, you have no idea that if you got a woman, I'm quite sure within 2 to 3 months, that woman would literally probably already be tired of you because you're angry, you're abusive, you're telling her how to be a woman, which is another thing so many of these guys love to do. They love to tell women how to be a woman. And it's just like, okay. And you don't realize how abusive you are. You don't realize how angry you are and how angry you sound. Like, your frustration and all that, do you literally think that that's not going to come off on her? Do you really think that you're going to be a loving, caring, supportive husband like, do you think you're going to be that way? Or when she needs money for groceries or needs money for this, you're going to probably start yelling and screaming at her? When you can't get, if she runs into a issue at the pharmacy, I'm quite sure you gonna yell at her, talk crazy to her, probably cuss her out, and tell her to make sure she do whatever she can to get your medicine home to you. Like, that's more than likely how you're gonna talk to her. If she don't cook you what you want, you're gonna be mad, you're gonna be frustrated. If she don't cook it right, you're gonna be mad, you're gonna be fussed. Like, y'all don't understand how, yeah, you guys just don't understand how angry you are and how angry you sound and how how scary that is for a woman, because y'all are first of all already bigger and stronger than us, and then you add frustration and anger to being bigger and stronger. That's abuse right there. Y'all don't see your abuse and your anger and your frustration as frightening to a woman. Y'all don't, for whatever reason, y'all don't see that. Y'all just don't understand how that's uh how that's a how that is so intimidating to a woman. I don't know why y'all don't understand and see that. But the what I want to talk about in this video, I want to talk about an epidemic that we have in this country of something called grumpy old men. Grumpy old men. And the thing about grumpy old men, it was a movie like back in, I don't even know when that movie was made. I don't know, 90s or 2000s, like I don't know. But it was called Grumpy Old Men. Then they made, I think, a sequel, Grumpier Old Men. And I want to ask y'all something. Do you realize that you never hear about grumpy old women? And if y'all want to say, oh, well, what about bitter old women? That's something man made up. That's not a thing. That's just something that men put on women. There's no such thing as bitter old women. There is definitely a thing, so much so that there's been movies about it, grumpy old men. And there's a reason. It's because they exist and they're everywhere. And when I say grumpy old men, I'm including young men with that, because so many men today have made young men into grumpy old men. Like literally 25-year-old dudes out here just angry at women. Many of these dudes have never even had real, true relationships with women. No experience, but all they talk about is women taking their money. If they get married, the first thing they think about is a divorce. you know yeah, these women nowadays, and these women this, and all they want is this, and eyelashes, fingernails, and what. And it's just complain, 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 which is one of the first things that grumpy old men do. All they do is sit around and complain with their boys, complain with their friends, complain with other old men. That's what they do. My expertise is I've worked with the elderly all my life. That has been my chosen field, geriatrics. That's been my chosen thing to do, is work with old people. I love them. I have a love for the work, a love for taking care of people. It fulfills me to know that I'm adding abundance to people's life by taking care of them, and giving them love and respect and the things that they need at the end of their life. Because to me, it's just as important that you live a happy elder life as you hopefully do a long young life where you're healthy and strong and doing the things that you want. So when you get old, I'm not one of those ones that feel like you need to get thrown away and treated bad, and sitting around and urine and smelling and not bathing and barely eating and can't get your med. Like, that's abuse. That's abuse. And so I have dedicated my life to the field of geriatrics, because I believe that, everybody should be treated with dignity and love, you know and I want the same for myself as I continue to go into my elder years. I want the same thing. And so, but there's some patterns with old men. There really are. There really are. the majority of them, and I'm telling you, I've been doing this since I was 18 years old. Like this, that was pretty much besides like fast food and working in the mall and stuff like that as a teenager. My next thing after I went to school, and got out was to go straight into taking care of the elderly and things like that. And so that's what I've done my whole life. I may have done one or two other things in my life, but that was because I hurt myself on the job and couldn't do it anymore, so I had to take a break. But as soon as I got better, I went right back to it. So it ain't been much else that I've done all my life. Um, so I said that to say I got the experience. I've seen a lot of old men. I've worked in various states across America, and yeah, they all grumpy old men at some point. And again, it is exactly what I see even in young men. And honestly, it saddens me. It saddens me the older I get to see younger and younger men complaining about women like they 45 years old and been married for 32 years and you know just had a horrible horrible life. And the woman took my money, the woman, she took my house and I ain't got nothing and what. And it's like you hear 20 something men saying these kind of things. Don't even want to try with a woman. Don't even want to give their life a chance because they sit around listening to these older, bitter, angry men who have messed up their lives. And so they just put the energy out there. And these young men think that they're getting some good wisdom, they're getting some good experience, and the majority of them are not. The majority of them are listening to bitter men who effed up their own life and effed up their relationships, and more than likely effed up some really good women because they wanted to cheat, because they was hot in the ass, because they, you know, didn't want to take care of their kid, like they were just living it up, just living in folly. And many of them fumbled good women and good relationships. Many of them did. Every woman that all these men met were not just horrible. That's not true. That's not true. So, anyway, you have a whole epidemic of even young men, angry, bitter, don't know what to do with a woman. Just don't know what to do with them. Can't even take the first step of even getting out and knowing that, well, okay, I talked to Uncle Bob, I talked to, my cousin Leroy, he 15 years older than me, a lot of the men in my life, the pastor or whatever, like I've talked to these men, and instead of understanding how to go from, well, this is my life, this is my experience, this is what I'm going to do when I have a relationship, instead of listening to all the bitterness, all the hurt, all the anger, all the, well, young boy, you young man, you got to be careful with these women today. And, young man, I had a woman and she so and so, and, they'll cheat on you and they just, and it's like, it's so much freaking despair. So it's like, well, goddamn, like I know she only 21 and she ain't never had a relationship either, and we're just beginning our lives. But hell, what if she cheat on me? What if, what if, I gotta spend years married and we get divorced and she get the house and she get to this and like that's how they look before they even start because of all of the bullshit that they hear from men in their lives, from men on social media, and they don't know how to differentiate and be like, okay, well, I hear you, I hear you. I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna listen to that. I got you, but I want to see for myself. Like I want to experience these things on my own. Maybe that those women wasn't for you. For you, maybe they were the wrong woman. Maybe you did some shit that you ain't telling me about, which is many times the case. But um it's hard, I think, for young men, and I think it's kind of hard for men in general to be objective and know how to put that part over there and be like, okay, I got you. I'm gonna listen to that, but I'm gonna experience my own life. You know what I'm saying? It would be great if many of them could do that, but many of them don't do that. Many of them allow these old men to scare the hell out of them. They scare the heck out of them, and they just go around bitter and messing up their chances with women because of some stuff that other people have told them. And it's really sad. But beside complaining, that's a huge thing that most older, these grumpy old men do. Many of these old men are very, very set in their ways. They're not going to change. Um, it's very hard for you to present something new to a man, I'm going to say really over 40, that he's going to be excited about, want to try, want to do whatever. Most of them are set in their ways, at least by 40. You know, I would say by 45 or whatever, maybe to give them benefit of the doubt. But in all honesty, I'm gonna say about 40. Men start getting very, very set in their ways. They know what they want. They know what they want to do. It's no to this, no to that. No, I'm not experiencing that. No, I'm not going here. No, I'm not traveling there. No, they don't. They're not adventurous. They don't want to go anywhere and do anything and see new things and things like that. I'm sorry, my lipstick is smudged. Um, yeah, like they really don't. Like many times how you hear about these trips and things like that and single women going on group trips and doing things like that. Usually a lot of women don't lose that. They don't, I mean, women in their from 20s to their 60s and even 70s, as long as they're healthy, most women want to travel and get up and go out and do things and experience things and but it's hard to find men who want to do that kind of stuff. Most men kind of want to stay in the house, kind of want to stay close to home, maybe just hang around whatever few guys maybe that they may have in their life, or stay at home by themselves, tinker around with their car in the driveway, or play some video games, watch TV, watch movie. Like literally, that's kind of what you're gonna find of most older men and men who men who have gotten settled in their ways, 40 and over. They come home, they've worked, maybe they've worked hard or whatever, and they're in for the day. They don't probably even want to go out really that much. Even if they're married, they don't really want to go out. They want her to stay at home and cook. They don't like spending money, which kind of goes in with the not going out thing. Most men, again, getting toward their 40s and things like that, they are very tight with their wallet. Very tight. It's going to have to really be a really good reason for them to want to be going and spending money on really almost anything. It just is what it is. And again, it's happening younger and younger and younger. You got 20 something year old men who should be out enjoying life, doing things, hanging out, and many of them, again, they keep their money in their pocket and they don't really want to explore or do things, or many of them don't even want to take a woman out. you know if they have a girlfriend or wife or something like that, they are much more likely to want her to stay at home and cook instead of getting up and going out and spending money or whatever. Yeah, you know. And if y'all look at your grandpas and older men, a lot of times those men have so much money that they just sitting around on. Ain't gonna do nothing with it, ain't going nowhere with it. Matter of fact, my brother is in his 60s, and his my oldest brother, and his health. is beginning to fail him a little bit. You know, he lives alone, whatever. Again, don't go nowhere, don't do nothing. And when my brother came here to visit me for Thanksgiving holiday, and my brother told me how much money he got in the bank, I'm floored. Like I'm floored. I like, and I'm like, so what you doing with it? Literally, it's just sitting there in the bank, and he's just literally collecting checks. Like, he has a very simple life. He don't really buy anything anymore. He used to in his younger life, he used to be a very he was very big into clothes and fashion and cologne and all that. Like, he used to love to look good, you know. And but he's always been pretty selfish with his money, if I'm gonna be honest. Um but yeah, I mean, he's just, his life is that he don't go out, he don't really go anywhere or anything like that anymore. Um, and even cooking and stuff, he kind of just have like the little microwave meals and everything. And matter of fact, I think he gets that Meals on Wheels thing, so he don't even really have to go and really buy food. So again, he just literally just sits and collects money, collects his checks. He don't really do anything with it. And again, that's like a lot of older men. That's like a lot of older men. They just sitting around collecting money. He was never married. He has no children. I have no nieces and nephews. And so yeah, that and that's a lot of old men. Most old men sitting around on a whole bunch of money. And I can see it from my family members, uncles, and things like that, my brother and other old men that I've known. They just be sitting on money. Um Many times, like, I mean, I've kind of already covered that just sitting around complaining about women. Even when they old men, a lot of times that's what they do. Just sitting around complaining about women, you know, making their wives unhappy most of the time. you know you ever think about going to grandma's house or whatever? Usually it's grandma, the one that's up cooking and cleaning and probably laughing and telling jokes and everything. What grandpa doing? Grandpa is probably either in his room or maybe in the dining room or living room or something, watching TV, same old shows he been watching for 60 years. And yeah, he got money or whatever. He don't want to go nowhere. He don't want to spend no money to go nowhere. Grandma is ready. Grandma willing. Grandma is probably, ready to dance and play music with you and hear about your life and what's going on with you and all this kind of stuff. And grandpa just sitting there mad and angry. Just mad and angry, sitting around in his chair watching TV, watching boxing or just whatever. You can't go to him, Grandpa, what's new and what's going on with him? Most of them are just kind of angry and bitter. And I'm not putting that out there broadly for all men. There's exceptions to everything. But I'm just talking about in general. In general, usually if grandma and grandpa are together, normally grandma is usually pretty much the more lively one, from my experience. Older women, uh even if they have been married for a long time and lost their husbands, they get up, they go, they play games and things. Many times once their husband die, it's like they, for some reason, they get some life. They get a burst of life, and I'm talking about 70, 75, 80. If they are still walking and got all their sense and all that, and he ain't completely drove them into the ground, those women in like the nursing home settings, I see these women making friends. I see these women making going playing games, playing bingo, going to art, going to music, doing, spending time with the other older ladies and so forth. If they're still driving, they getting up, they going out, going places and doing things. Like, that has been my experience working in nursing homes, assisted livings, care homes, rehab centers. Like, that's what I see of women. What I see of men is the majority of them are angry at life, period. Many of them are very, very combative. They're the ones that you got to really be careful of because they're gonna punch the shit out you if they get close enough or if they're unpredictable. Matter of fact, I'm gonna tell y'all a real quick story before I cut the video off because I've made my point. um, I didn't even know I was pregnant uh with my son uh many years ago. And I was working in this was a nursing home, not an assisted living or one of them nice places that I eventually start working in. This was a little nursing home. And because I just kind of had begun my career, so I was extremely young. And so this old man, I don't remember what he looked like. I just remember he was an old white guy and he was a big man. And I remember I was helping him get up and get dressed and everything. And this man, as I was standing, because I was bending down, I was squatting down, and I was tying his shoe. And as I was getting ready to get up, I'm stretching myself up. This man reared back on his bed and kicked his leg towards my stomach. And if he had made contact, I'd have been hurt. And I'd have more than likely lost my baby because I was in the first 3 months. Like, literally, that's a long story for another day. I did not know I was pregnant. I didn't even know I was pregnant until after my 3rd month or in my 3rd month is when I found out that I was pregnant. And that's where I was. I was somewhere, I don't know, 2 to 3 months or whatever, but I didn't know that I was pregnant. And if this dude, like I said, had made contact, if his foot with them shoes on, and he was a big, strong man, which is another thing. Most of these old men, they don't really lose a lot of strength. Like, them old men be strong as hell. And it can be very, very dangerous for a woman. Very dangerous for a woman. And especially when it's unpredictable and you're not expecting it. I didn't have any idea or expect this because he wasn't being violent, he wasn't being angry, he was just, I mean, I don't know, he was okay, you know and for him to rear back like that as I'm getting up to get ready to kick me is like, I was like, MF, if your foot had to reach my stomach. Yeah. So anyway, that that is one of those things. Very angry, very abusive, very combative, very, not all. And again, I've met some sweet little old men, but I'm gonna be honest with you. The ones who are the sweetest usually have some kind of dementia. They usually have some kind of dementia. There's some type of Alzheimer's or something there, so they're not really themselves. So they're kind of, they're not their regular selves, because the regular ones, the majority of them are just not nice. They're mean. They're angry. They're very still. Many of them are very, very sexual when it comes to women. I'm not holding that against them because they're men, but yeah, you get very much so sexually assaulted in many of these places. And when I say assaulted, I don't necessarily mean where they gonna get you and hold you down. I mean, I don't know, that may have happened to some, but you're gonna definitely get touched, you're gonna definitely get said things said to you, you're definitely going to get fondled. You are definitely going to, I mean, like, yeah, yeah. And many times these facilities, they laugh that shit off. Like, they don't really say anything about it. And some of these old men, they know what they're doing. They got all their sense. And instead of them even like talking to them or saying things to them, I had one woman, this is when I was back in Houston, and this old man, y'all, 98 at the time, and he still had all his sense. Um, and he had a couple of girlfriends around there. So that just lets you know. But this man had an obsession with my breast. He was always trying to touch me. He was always asking to could he touch my breast? He was, I mean, just vile. Just vile. I come in the room, he licking his tongue out, and I mean it was just, oh, he was just a dirty, dirty old man. Very dirty old man. And I remember I went to the director and everything because I'm just like, you know what? I don't want to go in this room. Like, can y'all send somebody else? I don't know, somebody with flat chest or something. I don't know. But this man is always making sexual innuendos and all this kind of stuff about me, my breasts, my body, you know. And this woman laughed at me. She laughed at me. She's like, "Oh, well, he's 90, he's 98 years old. He's gonna be 100. Let him have a feel, you know. Just let him, you know." And some of the other employees just like, "Girl, that man just want to touch. Let him touch you. Let him." What? Are you being serious? Like it is no. They don't take it serious. Now, granted, ain't much they could have done to the man. They could have told him not to do it, stop, whatever. You know, it wasn't no guarantee that it was gonna stop. But at least with that being the case, you could have honored my request by not, I don't want to work with him. Like it's uncomfortable. I can handle myself or whatever, but I don't want this man sexually being so nasty and sexual to me. Let somebody else take him. I'll take one of their residents or whatever. But it was just amazing to me that I remember till this day that she literally from behind her desk was sitting there laughing at me, and I'm being as serious as I can, and she's laughing to and telling me let him get a feel. And I just, yeah, so a lot of nurses and everything go through a lot of things like that with men, with the older men and things like that. But just wanted to share that video. I guess it's kind of funny or whatever, but I think we're in a nation of grumpy old men. I think we're in a nation of a bunch of grumpy young men. Because when you look at the pattern of old men and how they are, just regular old men behavior, you're seeing it younger and younger and younger with a lot of these younger men. And I think it's sad. Hopefully things will change. Hopefully it'll get better because women are not horrible. All women are not horrible. Yes, some of them are. All women are not horrible. And I just, if I feel like a lot of these young men are being cheated. I feel like a lot of them are not even like really getting a chance to experience good women. And I know a lot of it is frustration. They're frustrated, but it's again their approach. If you're acting like the guy in the car when I first started the video, if you acting like him and cussing and angry and frustrated, and I just want a woman to do this here. Why is it so effing hard to find me a woman that want to do her role and take care of me? And it's just like, dude, like if this was a job, then no, then would nobody want to work for you? Like, no, I'm good. Like, and the black guy just angry and berating and talking about women and half of y'all can't cook anyway. Y'all don't even know how to y'all can't boil an egg and it's just like that makes me want to date you. Like, yeah. Anyway, you guys, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Please hit the subscribe button. Please hit all notifications. Let me know what you think. Leave me a comment. This was a lighthearted video, so you guys don't have to come off strong or whatever. But uh, share with me your experience if you have one, or if you think I'm wrong, or just whatever. But you guys, please hit all notifications so that you know when I upload new videos. Guys, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Till next video. See you next time.